Every single time I make a video about No Man's Sky, I experience two types of people in my comment section. And this has been exactly the same since 2019 when I made the video about No Man's Sky first time on the channel, or 2020 when I made a review for the first time on the channel. People either absolutely love it or people absolutely hate it. There is no middle ground. And I thought to myself, why so? I understand why people might love it, because this is a perfect redemption story and this is the perfect game for the ones that want to experience just everything without any restrictions. But why hate? Why would you hate a game like this? And at first I thought that, yeah, it's just noobs that don't understand what type of game it is. But then I dug deeper, because this could not be an answer. I decided to get more deep into it and understand why people would hate this game. And to be fair, I think I got to an answer. And those people are kind of not wrong. They have a valid reason to hate this game. Not hate, but at least dislike. So let's get deep into it and let me get into my thought why this game is actually being hated. And yeah, just get this for entertainment purposes, not as an actual scientific research, because yeah, I know that some of you will, but yeah, most of you will not, thank God. So to understand this, I really wanted to get into why people love certain type of game. And I decided to take a look at the gamers themselves. And first thing that I did was to get into the SteamDB and find out what games are being played. Understandably, the most played games are the games that are basically immortal. This can be your survival games, multiplayer games, and yeah, this was not a really good place to look into, because the games that are actually universally loved, like for example Red Dead Redemption or Cyberpunk or Dying Light or Days Gone, God of War, games like that, they are mostly in the top, but not at the very top. And those games actually have the most amount of players overall, not just playing it constant. So I decided to take a look at games that have the highest amount of all-time players, or rather the games that are most popular. These are your Red Dead Redemptions again, your Cyberpunks, GTAs, Dying Lights, Days Gones, God of War, Spider-Man, and games like that, to see what they have that No Man's Sky does. And yeah, the answer became a bit more apparent. You see, most gamers don't look at the gameplay systems to choose what games they want to play. They don't look how complex games are or how many things that you can do. They just want to have fun and have something that is related. To do so, it should not be difficult to get into, and to not to be difficult to get into, you need to have a clear path of progression in the game. And yeah, most of those popular games have clear path of progression. They have certain beginning, where you begin the game, middle, and end. You have a very clear path that you need to get to, and you know exactly what is the next thing that you need to do in order to progress. It's very easy for in those games to do. You have a mission and you just go to the mission and then go to the next mission and to the next and to the next. And yeah, most games have very clear path, and people need this clear path because they don't need to be a private investigators in order to understand what they need to do next in the game. And even in the games that are very similar to No Man's Sky, the survival games, like for example Valheim, the game that I reviewed just recently, you have also quite clear path as well. Like in Valheim, it's really understandable what you need to do. You need to defeat one boss after another, etc. And the path is like prepare for the fight for the first boss, summon the boss, defeat the boss, prepare for the fight for the second boss, summon the boss, defeat the boss, etc. It's really clear path to do so. In No Man's Sky, it's not. It's really not. When you start playing for the first hour, it's really difficult to understand what the hell are you doing. Even though tutorial has gotten really better in the past few years, and it's really easy to understand how all the gameplay systems work, you really have no idea what you're doing in this game. You spend your first hour just to get airborne, and then you have really no idea what to do, because every playthrough will be different, because when you start on this completely separate your own planet every single time, it's really difficult to understand where you need to go, what you need to do, and if you really don't understand why you're doing this. You really don't understand who you are in this world, and to be fair, you won't until very deep into the game, even if you just stick to it. So, and yeah, this type of really getting lost is not doing any favors for No Man's Sky. Even though gameplay systems in No Man's Sky is really deep, you don't really have a really good progression. You see, a clear point of No Man's Sky, clear thing to do in No Man's Sky in reality is to do whatever the hell that you want, and this whatever the hell that you want is to interact with different gameplay systems and gameplay loop. Like for example, you can go and just explore all the different worlds, all different planets, fly around to see what resources there are, how they look, etc. This is one gameplay loop. To do so, you need to go around and collect resources that will help you to travel between planets and star systems, like for example building a jump drive and collecting antimatter, and your gameplay loop is revolving around that. After some time, you might discover, for example, a Corvette building, like in the latest update, and you will realize that most of the parts for Corvette are locked, and you need to actually discover them. You will go around searching and digging planets for those Corvette parts, and then collecting resources to build up your Corvette. And after you are done building up with your corvette, the next gameplay system will be to build up your freighter and build your moving giant base, which consists of finding first a suitable freighter, then finding suitable frigates for your freighter to build up an entire fleet, then building up the base in there and collect all the resources for this base, etc, etc. This is the gameplay loops of this game. But the funniest thing is that most people never get to it because they never understand that this is what they need to do whatever the hell that they want, because they require a clear path, what this game is not providing. Now, the players that love No Man's Sky, me included, we know that this path is there. It is there. I know that. You don't need to tell me that. You don't need to go into comment section and just bash me. I know that the path is there. The game actually explains what you need to do and what you need to do next, but it's not as clear as in the most AAA games. You need to understand that as well. And the second thing what this game is lacking, and which is prevalent in all the top games, is relatability. No Man's Sky is simply not relatable because you literally have zero characters that you can get to know in this game. Now, yeah, before you again go into comment section and bash me there, I know that there are named characters in the game that you will be interacting. I know that there are characters that are integral to the story. I know that they're there. I have interacted with, but you see, most people will never get it. And if they will, you see, when you will get to Anomaly, you can just completely ignore the story and throw it out of the water, and you can just continue doing whatever the hell that you want, and you will still have as much fun. People do not like that. They want relatable stories, which all those AAA games actually provide. Why Baldur's Gate was such a big hit, when for some, Divinity Original Sin 2 was maybe even better game in a gameplay loop, because Baldur's Gate 3 has better storytelling and better character relatability. Not maybe necessarily better story, but better storytelling and story presentations. The Mass Effect style dialogues, the voice acting and everything plays a huge and integral role in getting people, well, dragging people into the game. No Man's Sky has none of this. So yeah, you do not care. And there are so few named characters and so few characters that you can relate to that it's not even point. You can just say that there are no characters at all. The alien races are boring. They just literally do nothing, even though they do have a backstory, which is weird enough, and very deep story as well. You will not be interacting with the most of the story and most of the lore in the game. Even though lore of No Man's Sky is really, really good and actually really enjoyed it, most people will not be doing that. And that is the main reason why people do not get into the game. Why people hate the game, because they really don't get to experience what this game is. They don't play it because they don't find a reason to play it. They don't find a clear path. I understand why people prefer games like Starfield to this, because at least Starfield has some clear path and the characters and the people to talk to. No Man's Sky does not have that. Even though gameplay system wise, No Man's Sky is way beyond Starfield, it does not have this clear path and clear interaction compared to games like Starfield. And no, yeah, of course, the combat is another thing as well, because this game does not have deep combat. This is the topic for another video, possibly. Overall, do I think that this game should be hated? I don't think so, but I understand why people hate it. But I understand why some people hate it. Does this mean they're right? No, of course not. This game should not be hated. But I think this game has quite a lot of things to do also in the future before it will become the game that is must play for absolutely everyone. Even though it still is, it still has a lot to do to become the game that is loved by everyone. And this video is sponsored by channel's partner and supporter, Instant Gaming. If you want the best games for the best prices, no matter whether it's a big sale or not, Instant Gaming is the way to go. No matter which console you're playing on, and no matter what time of the year it is, Instant Gaming has the best deals for you. And prices can sometimes be really, really cheap. So much so that you would not even believe that. But trust me, they're real. So check out the Instant Gaming through my link in the description down below. And don't forget to check out that the giveaway is still up, because you may actually win any game of your choice. Yes, any game. Now back to the video. Yeah, this will be for today. If you want my video about the Voyager up and all the Corvettes and everything, you can watch it right here. Or you can watch my latest review of No Man's Sky right here as well. Don't forget to subscribe right here as well. This will be for today, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care.